What is sex rituals, or the performance of sex in magic within Satanism? The world's perception of Satanism is that Satanists are about rape, murder, theft, and child sacrifices through breeding cults. This is a misdeception, and it is not true. It's a false perception. These people clearly have no idea what they're talking about. Those in the crafts know about this, because they've been judged just as much as we Satanists have. Pagans have had to deal, and Wiccans have had to deal with shit from the Christian church for centuries, while Satanists basically stayed in the background and kept silent. We kept our practices secret, even though pagans and Wiccans have been known throughout the centuries. Their point of view on warlocks notwithstanding, basically, the perception of sex in magic is this. It is the visual stimulation to help raise energy further than what a mental capacity is capable of doing, especially within a ritual or a working, if you wish. We do not force women to undress and to become an altar, because like the pagan point of view, they refer to it as the earth as Mother Earth, and a woman, her body represents that earth, that altar, because of the fact that a woman is her body is capable of birth and rebirth of natural energies. Therefore, she is idolized as a symbolic mother with high respect and high regards, and held in high regards. We do not force women to have relations against their will. We do not manipulate them or force them to do anything they don't want to do. That is Satanism for you. It is a mutual respect. A man's world is war. We fight, we hunt, we do all that stuff. We create wars. While women are more out front with their feelings and emotions, and basically are in touch with nature. The balance of nature, if you wish. Unless you hit that time of the month, then you're basically screwed if you're a guy. But, But my point is this. Children are not allowed in a ritual. They are not allowed to have anything to do with the magics, the satanic rituals. They're not even allowed in the ritual chamber. As individual rituals go, or solitary practices go, when they get into their teens or late teen area, when they actually begin to understand what a ritual is and how it is, then they're allowed to do it. But other than that, they have to do what their parents tell them to do. Sex magic is simply stimulating energies. To have sex while doing a ritual is pointless. It takes away from the energies collected and needed to make that change within a ritual. Therefore, it goes against a Satanist's true nature, which is self-preservation. These stories of rape and murder and kidnappings, stuff like that, that is not true. We don't do this stuff. We do not have anything to do with that. Now, there's a little thing called the 11 Rules of the Earth, which you can look up on the internet and basically do your own research. There's been other books that deal with this stuff as well. For example, the Satanism Scare that I've talked about in the past. The last couple of days, I've taken stuff out of it that I've read and applied it. But the first 3 rules of the earth are this. Number 1, do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. Number 2, do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. And number 3, when in another's lair, show him respect or else do not go there. Okay? And if somebody gets on your nerves, well, number 4 comes into play, which is if a guest in your lair annoys you, treat him cruelly and without mercy. But number 5 is the one I want to discuss here, because the first 3 or 4 actually apply to number 5. Okay, within Satanic laws, number 1 is self-preservation. That's the Satanic way. Number 2, self-gratification. You know, if you don't have a girlfriend or whatever, you've always got your right hand. But, anyways. Or just go to a Catholic church. You know, find a priest. But, anyways, number 5 states, do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. Now, with that said, the point of views of the world, especially that of the Judeo-Christian society, is completely wrong and out of fear and ignorance. Because we choose to use a woman as an altar. It does not mean that we're going to force her to do that under, say, a magical spell or blackmailing her into becoming an altar. That's not what we do. The pagans and Wiccans have a rule. It is called, do what they will, but first do no harm. Now, all these rumors and everything about Satanists doing all this stuff against people's wills, especially breeding cults for sacrifice, is wrong. We do not do that. So, with that said, I just wanted to point out the fact that those who make these accusations clearly have no idea what they're talking about. They're morons and they fear everything, as I've stated in the past. And what concerns me is that some people actually buy into it, into these lies and these false propagandas. Because anyone who's ever done a ritual, especially a satanic ritual, and was involved within it, either as a solitary practitioner visiting a coven or a grove, or a coven itself performing a ritual, knows that you do not force other people to do things. Now, if 2 consenting adults wish to satisfy their carnal needs after the ritual has been closed, that's their choice. That is their choice. And I find that while I do enjoy a woman, especially a roll-on-hay type sack, and women are very stimulating to look at, especially nowadays, since they're getting more and more gorgeous. But it's one thing to look, and it's another thing to act. And like the world, you have to know that difference. Now, if you want to say that Satanists do this stuff, why don't you look at Christians? They have priests who molest children. They have you got the governments who basically have their hand into basically everything from prostitution to human trafficking, and yet nobody says anything about that. Instead of a priest going to jail for molesting a child, he repents and he gets transferred to another parish, where he does the same thing over and over again. You have human trafficking, prostitution rings out there. And yet the government is pissed off about it because they're not getting their cut. Therefore, within the last 30 to 40 years, prostitution has been deemed illegal. Therefore, people have to work in secret. This is just like the burning times, the Crusades, the Dark Ages, the Holy Wars. This is just like all of them. It's just another way to spread fear and false propaganda. And this is all because of the Christian church. Their false propagandas are their beliefs, their own selfish desires to stay in power. They're willing to do anything, including smudge and smear the reputations of other religions. They're a conquering religion. That's what they are. And while they're fighting each other and you, and Satanists, pagans, and Wiccans, we're basically sitting back and letting them do what they want. So my advice is, if it's alright with you, I'll give you my opinion on it, not my advice, is to tell them literally, fuck off. That's the way I see it. Because of the fact that if you want to, a woman's body is her body. If she wishes to pimp it out, it just means she enjoys sex. As for ritual sex, it's basically between consenting adults. No minors, no nothing outside of that. And that's the point that I wanted to get across today in today's video. Because of the fact that there are so many people out there who fear Satanists, they judge us. They see, one of these, and it's, oh my God, he's going to take my soul, he's going to take my kid, he's going to take my wife, or she's going to take my kid, or my husband, or whatever. Which is not true. I have friends within the Christian community, the pagan community, and the Wiccan community. Okay? I've made a reputation for myself. They know me, and I know them. There's that mutual respect, that mutual understanding of where we come from, and what we do. Because our practices are so similar. We acknowledge it. Too bad the rest of the world and Christianity aren't the same. Because if they were, there wouldn't be war. There would not be accusations of this and that. And that's basically what I wanted to get through to you today. So, I hope this has been inspirational. I hope it's been educational. And I hope that you've learned something from it and can actually grow and deal with, what's been said here. I hope it's opened your eyes as well. So, hail Satan. Have a good day.